The Cabal. War, want it or not, is all they understand. And so we taught them. Sand Eaters scattered. Dust Giants felled. Ice Reapers buried. Siege Dancers broken. Until we grew complacent, and Gaul drove a blade between our ribs, left us gasping. Before the Vanguard showed them that the light cannot be tamed so easily. I should have stepped forward, stamped the Red Legion into extinction. Instead, I ran the banner, and watched the city's victories dull our edge once more. It should have ended before they fattened us, before they exploited us, before they forced us to lift up a murderer as our savior. Another Cabal warmonger now leads a fleet off Nessus. No more waiting. We will be there to put her in the ground.
Even my people have a word for peace, but we do not use it often or lightly. I wouldn't have summoned you if I was not sincere.
Peace with the Cabal.
The darkness crowds the edges of this system. The Hive serves it. You'll fall to one if not the other. My world did.
Empress Keitel, I'm sorry for what you've lost.
We have all suffered. I propose an alliance.
Cabal don't ally. They conquer. She betrayed her father to Gaul. Don't think she won't put a gilded knife in your back too.
My father was soft.
He lacked ambition.
As you do. Humanity won't survive unless the Commander expands his horizons. Join my empire. You'll keep your title and gain a seat on my war council. With my army and your light, the Cabal will crush the Hive. Then, the Black Fleet. Bow.
No.
Very well. Ready yourself, Commander. I'll sharpen my gilded knife and see you both on the battlefield.
Listen closely, Guardian. Callus's daughter, Empress Keitel, has arrived in our system hoping to reunify the Cabal Empire. We've spotted an Imperial land tank tearing through Nessus. Ikora thinks it has something to do with Keitel's efforts. I want boots on the ground for a closer look.
Tank is ahead. Break their front line and get us eyes on it. New objective. Based on the field intelligence you recovered, we believe a former Red Legion commander is on site, directing from the ground. This commander was a mere legionary under Gaul's rule. He personally pulled the trigger on a horrifying amount of lightless Guardians during the Red War. He has since risen to become a warlord among the remnants of the Red Legion, and now that butcher carries Keitel's banner. End him. Divide leadership on the ground long enough for our scouts to determine what Keitel is planning. And perhaps get justice for the Guardians he sent to their final deaths. there now!
Warriors of the Empire, I see your fury. For years, you have waited for your leaders to reclaim you. But time has not changed your nature. Your rage becomes the swing of the cleaver, the thrust of the shield, the shout of the cannon. I send out a challenge to the remains of the Broken Legion. Prove your worth in battle. The ancient rites live again. The triumphant will become the first members of my war council. We are Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas.
Well done disrupting the Cabal on Nessus. I wish that was the end of it. But unfortunately, it's just the beginning. Empress Keitel has emerged as the new face of their empire and demanded I pledge loyalty to her. Our conversation went as well as you might expect. Thanks to the information you recovered, we know this. Former members of the Red Legion and other leaderless Cabal are all competing for a seat on Keitel's War Council. In an effort to prevent Cabal reunification, I'm assembling a team to take out her aspiring commanders. Lord Saladin will act as field commander, and Osiris will report directly to me as my advisor. He's appointed a new hunter, Crow, to be your reconnaissance expert. As always, Amanda Holliday will provide air support. Your task is simple. Defeat Keitel's commanders across the Sol system. Once you eliminate their leadership, Cabal infighting will prevent Keitel from amassing real power. If we miss this opportunity, another all-out war will become inevitable. Good luck.
The new style suits you. Spoils of victory in the reef.
Glint chose the materials. You haven't let me pay for any of this.
If you want to repay me, keep that mask affixed to your face. It will protect you from the city's ignorance.
I know what it's for. If this is what it takes to make a difference, I'm in.
I've had to walk these streets under disguise more times than you know. Now I am welcome. Soon you shall be too. Patience and caution. Guardian. Saladin spoke highly of your assault. They think their tank is a show of strength, but it is no Iron Lord.
Saladin will hold the line so our attention can be directed elsewhere. Names are needed. Examples. My friends in the Reef have been talking. At this point, Red Legion commanders are either brutes or braggarts. Not the type for subtlety. They want Keitel's attention.
We will use that information to direct our fury. Create a power vacuum and show the Cabal the path they've chosen. Dismissed.
Together in the field. Huh. I'm starting to get the impression you all like having me around.
The Dragon of your light roars over Nessus. Our enemies fear you, Guardian. Osiris mentioned you crashed a Cabal ritual they call the Rite of Proving. He seems to think it's not unlike our Crucible, made for settling scores. I don't see the resemblance. Scraps of the Red Legion are competing to earn Keitel's favor. Just like her, their hands are tied by tradition. They're forced to meet every challenger or forfeit their position. We can exploit that. I want you to run down every Cabal commander you can find. If they're foolhardy enough to accept a fistfight with you, Keitel's War Council won't fill a single seat. To that end, Crow has spotted another of the Empress's hopefuls on Europa. They call him Basilius the Golem. He's looking for Golden Age relics to excavate from the ice. Basilius intends to augment his body and offer combat enhancements to other Cabal. If he succeeds, it won't be long before Keitel has an entire platoon of Exo-Legionaries at her disposal. Get in the way. The Cabal incursion is isolated around a nearby Vex structure. They haven't yet had a chance to fabricate heavy fortifications.
The Vex are agitated. Expect their interference as well.
Go show them the power of humanity's champions.
Look at this. Picking apart the Vex like carrion birds. It's pathetic.
There is no glory in what the Cabal are seeking here, just desperation.
Agreed.
This Legion's champion is near, Guardian. Perform the Rite of Proving, call him out, and show him the power of the light. in another team to do a second sweep. Today's survivor is tomorrow's enemy.
Did the Vanguard not have a loosely held policy on offering quarter to fleeing enemies?
The Vanguard asked an Iron Lord to lead their forces. If they did not wish me to fight like an Iron Lord, they should have asked someone else.
While I agree, I can't help but wonder if your disregard for their codes of conduct may cause friction.
Friction is conflict. Conflict breeds strength. They know this. Or they should.
In my experience, what the Vanguard should know, and what they actually know, are not always the same.
You speak the truth, Warlock. My only hope is that they have not forgotten the Battle of Twilight Gap, and the lessons learned there. Get ready to move. The Cabal have invaded the Cosmodrome. As we speak, Paul Mirag leads a charge into a hive nest, seeking revenge for what Xivu Arath did to the Cabal's home system. If he succeeds, Keitel is certain to promote him to her war council, and more Cabal will flood into the Cosmodrome. We can't let that stand. Not in the territory that produces some of our best guardians. Fortunately, our enemies are distracted. Cut through the chaos and take out Mirag. If we don't crush this now, we could lose an entire generation of new lights.
This is Amanda Holliday, reporting on my Cosmodrome flyovers. The Cabal set up shop on a bluff overlooking the moth yards. Hive's been chewing on them pretty good, but they're dug in like ticks. You know how they are. Frigates parked overhead haven't put a single round my way. Seems they're focused 110 on the Hive. One thing I haven't seen are any civilians. I don't know how big the Cabal fleet is these days, but it's gotta be spread thin. There must be a group of carriers in deep space somewhere with all their kids and old folks aboard. The whole rest of their species. Shows how much they want payback. They're risking it all on our turf, just for a piece of the Hive. I know this Cabal force looks like aggression, but I'd wager it's grief through and through. They ain't here for us. They're here for revenge. Goodness knows, I can relate.
Guardians, this fight is between the Empire and the Hive. Do not interfere.
I'm sorry. What? You're breaking up? I'm flying into a tunnel. Go light him up, Guardian.
Dramatically underestimated the density of the Hive. They are overrun. We can use this to our advantage. Clear out the Cabal on the periphery, then become a spear and strike through their heart. The Brood is relentless, but do not lose sight of your target. The Cabal's champion is near. They cannot deny the proven. Challenge them. End this.
Cut him down, Guardian! I cannot stand the Hive. Just looking at him makes my skin crawl.
The Hive are not that fond of you either, Miss Holiday.
Can't blame Keitel for wanting her people to burn out that nest. Nowhere those things belong but gone.
You have a sense of conviction that I find fascinating.
Yeah, well, I'm a fascinating person.
Even after losing as much as you have, you continue to fight. Knowing well you have but one life.
Sometimes, one life is all it takes.
You would make a fine guardian, Miss Holiday. Though I'm not sure you'd appreciate the barrier for entry.
Distress signals are far too common these days. Our recovery crews can hardly keep up with them. This one, however, I want you to look into personally. Rahul brought it to my attention. He tells me the transmission has been exposed to darkness. Our enemy worms its way into everything it touches, even mudding our signals. What's more is the port of origin, near the reef, from a Guardian claiming to be aboard a ship belonging to the dethroned Emperor Callus. Keitel will no doubt respond to a signal from one of her father's ships. They have a complicated relationship. If there's a Guardian on board, exposed to darkness, I want to know why. Extract them safely, so we may have a word with them.
Several months ago, a Cabal vessel bearing the name Glykon disappeared near the reef. This ship matches its description and heading. So far, our hails have gone unanswered, and the distress signal continues to loop. You're clear for live-fire engagements. Board it, and find our missing Guardian. There's a distortion in the feed, no frequencies. Like ripples meeting in conversation. Executing trace. Stand by. I've sourced a distortion. There's an open patch into the ship's computer. Perhaps courtesy of our lost friend. Those spores are harmonizing with the nearby concentration of darkness. There's no light here. Glycon navigation system marks their destination as an anomaly left in the wake of Mars's disappearance. Guardian, you're not the only life sign aboard. I see at least one other. Maybe our missing friend. It may not. I found a journal of Callus's scribe, Armsat. Translation as follows. Today, Callus graced the Glycon with his presence and gazed upon the anomaly. His counselors prepare the exhibition chamber with gold from the Castellum. They are confident the crown is ready. The end will lay eyes upon him and weep at his magnificence. Passageways no longer connect as they should. Movement. In the dark. They relent. We must not. Forward. Guardian, I've pieced together another of Armsat's records. It reads, Tragedy of Silence. He tore the wilting failures apart himself. The connection is strong, but the darkness does not speak through them. An ocean without wind. Even the Lightbearer could not coax it to awaken. Hangar systems are intact. Why didn't they try to run?
You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death.
Armsat kept notes on experiments as well. It seems that Scorn exposed to the anomaly all suffered contiguous neuron death. It consumed their minds. All but one who spoke with many dead voices. This survivor would become the centerpiece of their studies. put this decrepit creature to rest. Guardian, this anomaly left in Mars's wake. I've seen it and others like it. Too many scorn for an active Guardian. In place of each world, the darkness stole. At the edge of our heliopause. Callus meant to commune with the darkness. Faint traces of light. That thing was a Guardian. We're too late. Far too late. Take the rifle. It was offered, was it not? Better in your hands than left for another. I'll speak to Zavala about authorizing exploratory outings. If we can recover our lost friend's ghost, we may learn more of how he died. Return to the city. We must assess our findings.
Good to have you back.
Defenses are hardened around the tank. We won't be able to push further.
What matters is that we pushed, not how far.
Spoken like an Iron Lord. You could have been one of us, Osiris.
The Iron Lords don't hold a monopoly on strategy. I thought you were a more pragmatic lot. All or nothing, like the Red War?
That was different. We didn't have our light. After Siva, after everything the Warmind put us through, we couldn't risk more losses.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't young Aphrodite disobey your orders and fight lightless?
She did.
Oh, so is this a new leaf I see turning? Are the Iron Lords coming down from their mountain?
You'll know when we do.
Oh. I look forward to it.
Commander Zavala, I thought to contact you directly, free from the prying interests of advisors. When I was a child, listening to stories of the Cabal's many rulers, I imagined that sovereignty was absolute power. The power to triumph, to spill blood, to rule. But now I realize the ironic truth. Sovereignty is a form of servitude. As Empress, my people's will comes before my own. That is why Cabal forces cannot leave the Sol system empty-handed. After losing Torobatl, we cannot lose our honor. It's the only thing we have left. You offer an alliance as equals, but I offer something even more valuable. Exaltation. Within our ranks, the Guardians will be revered. They will be free, as the Scions are now. They will be our most elite force, the pride of the Cabal Empire. So, for the last time, join us. For revenge against the Hive. For survival against the darkness. Join me. Join the Cabal.
Did I keep you waiting? I've been busy managing the antics of your commanders.
Antics. Time-honored traditions. They don't concern you.
You're auditioning members for your war council. I'd say that concerns us very much.
Your commander could be a valued member of it, if he would accept my offer. You seem like a wise man. We both know that the best victory is won before the war even begins. I'm giving humanity a way out. Zavala can end this now. You can end this now.
A Cabal Empress with a penchant for mercy. It's a novel idea. You've learned from the mistakes of your predecessors, but I see how you lean on tradition when you fear a loss of control. I see your uncertainty, dithering. As for what I know that an Empress without an empire is in no position to offer anything.
The Cabal have lost their home, not their honor. If we are to die, we will take many with us. Tell your commander my patience is running out.
Your orders remain the same. Honor or no. Without a war council, she'll have no war.
You're needed back on Nessus, Guardian. As if their tank wasn't enough, now we have Scions tunneling into Vex territory. According to Crow, their leader is Ixal the Far-Reaching. She's looking for something that will secure her a seat on the War Council. Something that will impress, like Vex prediction engines. Whatever Ixal digs up could give Keitel the winning edge. Or worse, simply unleash destruction on us all. Either outcome is to be avoided at all costs. Ensure they never try this again.
The Scions are already deep in the Vex network, and it looks like they have Imperial backup. You can catch them if you hustle.
Lucky for you, Amanda Holiday runs a door-to-door service. I've dropped you close to the entry point.
And, lucky for me, she also has a sense of humor, which is refreshing after working with Saladin.
That's a pretty low bar to clear, but I'll take the compliment. You're on the right track. Keep drilling down. You'll hit gold soon enough.
We're picking up big energy spikes below your feet. Odds are good, but that's where their commander is.
Time to show the big boss what you got.
You know how to get their attention.
Finally. Hopefully that's the last time we'll have to clear this place out.
That would be nice. Unfortunately, Keitel's cooperation has angered enough dissidents to last us a while.
Why us? These were her people. Why can't she clean up their mess?
We're Guardians. I'm told this is what we do.
I'm not. And I'm no political expert either, but seems to me that a ceasefire means that everyone minds their own.
I'm sure Keitel is doing what she can to bring them all to heel. At least that's what my gut tells me.
Your gut, huh? Well, my gut still has some shrapnel in it from the Red War, so...
How did it go?
Well, the Cabal are just thrilled we've been interfering in their politics. That said, a lot of them are just as unhappy Keitel tried to fold us into the Empire.
Interesting. Another crack in the shield.
Aren't you worried about retaliation? The data we've pulled from that prediction engine. We need to act now.
That data represents possibility, not fate. We need to know more. Good, you're here. The Scions you broke up on Nessus are plotting something. Help Crow investigate this further.
Wait. You aren't going to tell the commander? This concerns him. He deserves to know.
My hope is there won't be anything to tell. Not if you and the Guardian see this through.
Don't know about you, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Nessus, Europa, the Cosmodrome. Every time the Cabal return to the battlegrounds, so shall we. Osiris has sent Crow undercover to investigate their plans for the Vex prediction engines. We need you back on the front lines. The more you can draw their fire, the easier it'll be for Crow to slip under the radar. And while you're out there, be sure to claim whatever you find in the aftermath. Weapons, gold. Without their home system, they can't resupply. And without supplies, they can't resist for long.
Listen, I've been combing through the prediction you pulled from Nessus. I've got bad news. I think the Cabal are going to try to take Zavala out. He's missing from every single one of the futures they predicted. Not missing where'd he go missing. Dead missing. Osiris says there are only possibilities, but I think it's the real deal. Zavala has refused to work with Keitel. It's in her best interest to remove him. Sends a strong message. Glint can't pinpoint a time and place yet. We need more information. Word is, the Vex have always had trouble predicting you. Maybe that's our edge. What do you say? Want to help prevent a prophecy? Thanks to your fieldwork, I have an idea of what the Scions are planning. It's not good. This gadget you found, it's a tiny light disruptor. Small, but strong enough to knock down a ghost. Saladin says when the Cabal sieged the city, they severed our connection to the light. Looks like the Scions have refined that tech. It's elegant, actually. And deadly. They wouldn't need to fly a fleet into the city to use this. A single gunman would be enough if they could catch a Guardian flat-footed. I'll tell Osiris, and I'll keep an eye on the commander. You know, just to be safe.
Sometimes I like to listen to the city's pulse. I hear it best when the people are asleep, and when I'm alone. It was a warm night, and I wanted to feel the breeze on my face. I took a walk through the first garden we planted inside these walls, to remind myself how far we've come. We've made so many sacrifices since those early days. But with the green of that garden and the murmur of the city we built up around it, I could be at peace. For a little while. Have you ever felt someone's eyes watching you, Guardian? You might not believe it, but I knew he was there before I saw him. I turned, and there he was, Uldren Sov, his spirit haunting me. Then he shouted a warning, and something snapped in the trees behind me. I spun around, my gun in hand, before I realized I'd drawn it. It all happened so fast. A Cabal assassin, one of Keitel's, no doubt. When I looked back for Prince Uldren, he was gone. Was it a troubled spirit? A hallucination? I wasn't sleeping well before. Now I'm not sure I will at all.
Commander, an attack on your life within our own walls. In the streets where the city's children play. I wish it surprised me. Every minute we waste, our enemies grow bolder. I saw it with the warlords of Allah. Give them slack, and they'll hang you with it. You must act. Remind our enemies that there are consequences when darkness breaches our walls. Remind the people why they put their faith in the Guardians. This attack was just a taste. Next time, they'll target someone else, someone you can't save. That loss will be on you. The weight of it will crush you. Trust me. There was an assassin within the walls of the last city, and no one knew until it was almost too late. Luck was on our side. Next time, it won't be. What we must do now is channel our light into a clean burning fury and raise the Cabal Empire to ashes. Zavala may still have hope for a peaceful resolution, but he hasn't seen what I have. I'm still an Iron Lord. I'll be in the fray exacting retribution. When you're ready, you should be too.
You were seen.
At that distance, in the dark, no.
Enough to put a name to a dead man's face. The commander told Ikora. Thankfully, he passed you off as a hallucination.
An assassin was inside our walls. I had to do something.
This isn't the first time an enemy has infiltrated the city, and it won't be the last. Your concern is noted, but far from a crisis.
An attempted assassination isn't a crisis?
Zavala is quite capable of dispatching a lone scion.
He was distracted, soon to be lightless. If I wasn't
unmasked, didn't the spider teach you that even small mistakes bring large consequences?
I suppose you learned that chasing Xivu Arath.
Choose your next words wisely.
I should have kept my mask on, but I don't regret acting. I still think Zavala's in danger.
That is why I'm embedding you as his bodyguard.
Is that wise?
We need to draw in their assassins, and a full security outfit is too obvious. Keep your mask on, always. Do not speak. Can I trust you to handle this with discretion?
The utmost. My mask was in my hand. Stupid, I know, but I felt safe. I thought I could just relax for a minute. It was a mistake. Osiris tells me the commander always talks about making the hard choice. Reveal myself or let him die. Whatever I chose, someone would still say I was wrong. I'm sure you've lost people. Racked your mind for how it could have been different. Too far away to act, but close enough to wonder. If you could have stopped it, wouldn't you? No matter the cost. I've been at the mercy of something I couldn't stop, without knowing why. Blind in a nightmare. I didn't want to be the reason for more pain. The next time they come for the commander, they'll have to get through me. Mask or no mask. Just don't tell Osiris I said that.
The Cabal have no shame. They failed to take out our leadership, and now they escalate their barbarism on the battleground. Believe me, I wish it were not this way, but I've seen this pattern play out many times before. Like the warlords of our darker days, Keitel and her commanders see honor as currency, valuable only for the fear it strikes in their enemies' hearts. There's no merit in it. No trust, and there's no negotiating with brutes like that. Meet them on the battlefield and prove again and again where the real honor lies. After everything the Cabal have done to us, after Gaul, we are warriors. Why aren't we at war?
This is not an easy decision. You know that.
Not easy, but inevitable. Neither side can sustain a real war, but the Cabal are aggressive and proud. If we do not end this, it will escalate beyond our control. The city is at risk.
So strike now. Take out their leader. United, we can handle the rest in a matter of weeks.
You don't think that lowers us to the enemy's level?
Whether it does or not, I doubt Keitel will go down so easily. But perhaps there is wisdom in thinking like the Cabal. Keitel has rallied support by embracing old traditions. If Zavala challenges her to ceremonial combat, she must accept, or risk losing that support. Humanity's champion versus the Cabal's. The winner dictates the future.
If we win, there's no guarantee Keitel's followers will honor the result, even if the Empress herself does.
And if we lose this gamble, when Keitel has a knife to your throat, will she thank you for your diplomacy?
Every fight is a gamble. The question is, whether you're willing to bet on our best guardians.
Any day of the week. Make your preparations. I'll reach out to Keitel to discuss terms.
Commander.
I appreciate your cooperation.
At last, we have a plan to strike at the heart of the Cabal. It's not what I'd do, but at least we're taking decisive action. Zavala has challenged Keitel to settle things with a final rite of proving. No response yet, but Osiris is confident she'll accept. Personally, I don't think there's any course of action more final than a full-scale offensive. Your task is to encourage Keitel to accept the easy out. Her aspiring commanders are the pressure points, so hit them with everything you've got. And keep hitting them until Commander Zavala tells you otherwise.
I issued a challenge to Keitel, knowing she could not show weakness in front of her people. She accepted. And now the time has come. It's simple. A final rite of proving. We each send forth a warrior to represent us. Whichever side claims victory sets the terms of a binding agreement. If we win, Keitel ceases hostilities immediately. Her forces never set foot on Earth again. But if we lose, we surrender Nessus and support her claim to the Imperial throne. And as a gesture of good faith, I become Brachus Zavala and serve on her war council, a glorified hostage. That cannot happen. Keitel's chosen warrior waits deep within her fortified tank. Storming it and defeating him in ritual combat will be nearly impossible. But I've come to expect the impossible. From you, Guardian. Represent the Vanguard in the rite of proving. Be our champion. Empress Keitel, we invoke the rite of proving.
Vanguard sends forth its champions.
The challenge is met. Our blood flows together. May it lead to unity. This is the Halbus Electus, the digger of graves, her mouth packed with red soil. I do not grant you safe passage. My tank is restless. Do what you came for. Fight well, or die quickly. Be reasonable, Guardians. While there is shame in surrender, I am merciful.
You all but demanded this conflict. We will see it through to the end. Keitel, order your troops to clear a path. We have no quarrel with them.
I will not deny them the honor of protecting their champion.
Keep working your way beneath the outer plates. According to Amanda, you will emerge near the power relays.
Guardians, I have prepared further challenges for you. A banquet of combat to test your resolve.
The Guardians are coming for your champion. They're not here for your hospitality.
And my father said you were such fun. You seek to drive a knife into the heart of my tank? My troops will defend its life with theirs. My warriors do not die easily. They fight because I gave them their freedom.
Imagine if they fought because you gave them a hope. Hold strong, Guardians. One final victory is all I ask.
Arise, my chosen! Fight for the glory of the Cabal!
your champion falls.
I did not imagine this outcome. Your guardians have powers told of in the old stories.
Our vaults are full of relics from those who underestimated us. If you ever cross the Vanguard again, bring a bigger tank.
Let our blood be the last spilled. Let this ground be hallowed. Let honor bind us. I didn't order this. Bring me the one who pulled the trigger. They'll know who did.
Are you all right?
I'm alive. I've officially been commissioned as a recon agent by Commander Zavala. He wants me to track down the conspirators who tried to sabotage the ceasefire. I believe Keitel when she says she wasn't behind it, but let's not take chances. 2 assassination attempts is more than enough, I think. Zavala looks at me, and I feel like he really sees me. Who I am, not who I was. He didn't say much else, just that it might be a good idea if I laid low while he figured things out here. I know it's taboo to talk about the people we were before, but the weight that's been hanging around my neck since I woke up in this body, it finally feels a little lighter. I doubt this is the last time we'll be seeing each other, Guardian.
Warriors of the Empire. Today we chose strength and honor over personal glory. But 2 of our soldiers chose to pursue their own victory, their own glory before the glory of the Empire. Only one of these soldiers stands before me now. The Scion Valir faced his death with honor, but his accomplice, the Scion Khalek, chose to run, to hide. Khalek is a stain on our history, a traitor. I revoke the name Khalek, for a coward has no name under the Empire. These traitors did not work alone. I will find the others, and they will meet this same fate. We are one Cabal, and we strike as one fist.
Uldren Sov is dead. Ikora spoke those words when I offered her the news of Crow's unmasking. She already knew, of course, as did Osiris. And you. Without trust, we become like the Cabal, fractured and consumed from within. I've sent your friend on a reconnaissance mission while I determine the best way forward. Empress Keitel will honor our agreement. This is an armistice, not an allegiance. Those who do not answer her call to leave Earth are criminals in the eyes of her empire, left to us to deal with as we see fit. Saladin will have words, I'm sure. But preserving what's left of the Cabal insulates us from further incursions by Xivu Arath, the enemy of my enemy, Guardian. Until such time, they are not.